What's up, everyone? It's your boy BLAZEDxENFERNO, and you are listening to episode 89 of the Infernal Gaming Podcast. We're recording this episode, what's today's date, man? Was it
June 30th.
30th. June 30th, baby. So we almost said July, man. We almost say July, man. If you're new to the show, just know you can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and more. Links are in the description. Check out our personal links as well. And remember to give this show 5 stars on Apple and Spotify. So give it 5-star, review. Let us know. Leave a little comment. And same thing with the YouTube. Make sure you like and comment, man. Definitely helps us out. Allows us to engage with y'all a little better. Today we got kind of a special one here for y'all, man. It's been a while since we've had a proper music podcast, right? It's been a long time. We actually haven't done any album reviews this entire year, just because we've been busy. The last time y'all saw us on the gaming side or the music side of things, we were literally just talking about the Drake and Kendrick beef. We seen how that turned out. You know what I mean? I got my man Residential Ian Hater with me today.
That makes more sense than calling me an Eminem hater, so I'll run with that.
Yeah, we got my Residential Ian Hater here, my boy Warren. And we just gonna lock in. We got a bunch of albums to review. We're gonna start at 2023, the end of 2023, and we're gonna kind of work our way to here. We're not gonna talk about the albums from the beef. So the 2 future albums, we reviewed that on literally the last music podcast, I believe. So make sure you'll go listen to that if you want our reviews on those 2 albums. I still feel the same way about both of them. We Don't Trust You is a banger. We Still Don't Trust You is pretty damn good. I still think it's heavily carried by the bonus tracks on the second one. But as far as that go, I don't think we talked about Not Like Us. Yeah, I mean, because I think that was the last song to come out of the beef. I think we were up to like Push-Up, so we didn't really talk about Family Matters or Not Like Us. So we could talk about that real quick, and then we get to these albums real fast. So how'd you feel about them 2 diss tracks?
Did we ever cover Euphoria and all that kind of stuff on the previous one as well?
Yeah, we did. I'm pretty sure we did. We can go through all the diss tracks real quick, just briefly. Just touch on all of them. So go ahead. We can start with let's start with Push-Ups. You know what I mean?
Again, it was a solid introduction. Like, it's a jab, as many would probably say. It was nothing really hard hitting or anything like that, but it's like it was almost like laying the gauntlet down to be the true engagement into entering the ring for the situation. So have nothing terrible to say about it. It was a solid. Give it a 7 out of 10.
Okay. I think I'll give it an 8 out of 10. Yeah, I mean, I think it's one of the better Drake disses out of the entire beef. Probably the best Drake diss out of the entire beef. But he was quickly killed in what I think is the best song of the entire beef, which is Euphoria. I'm gonna take the floor with this real quick and just, I think that is literally the best song we got out of the entire diss anthology or saga between Kendrick Lamar and Drake. I really think that was the best song. Euphoria should have been it. Like, if I was Drake, I wouldn't even respond to that joint. Like, that shit was just, it's like he broke down his character, he broke down everything, and he literally called everything from the beginning. He was like, yo, don't tell no lies on me, and I won't tell truths about you. And it's just like, when Drake came out with his next diss, it's just like he was just like on all cylinders, just firing and just throwing that man crazy. But I think Euphoria was literally out of all of the diss tracks, Euphoria is the one I listen to the most. It gets a 10 out of 10 for me, dog.
It's a hard agree for me as well. It's a 10 out of 10. And I think a lot of it is informed by hindsight. Like, in the moment, I loved it, yes. But as time sort of grew and you kind of like break down the layers of the song and kind of what you were saying beforehand, like, he almost sort of predicted the line of how everything would go. It was a wildly prophetic song that, like, if you can spend an entire like good couple of minutes breaking down the things that were said in that song and how it sort of came to life later on in this entire exchange. So yeah, it's to me it has a lot of replay value. I still listen to it quite a bit
Yeah,
to
me
this day
too.
as well.
Yeah,
So it's
me
like,
too.
yeah, it's a 10 out of 10 for me. And I think when we look back on it, maybe because like everybody's going to talk about Not Like Us because it's the hit record, but like this right here to me was the best one.
Yeah, I highly agree. Yeah, I thought Euphoria was just like and it was like, yo, the crazy thing about it was, and we'll talk about how messy things get towards the end of this little, talk about the diss tracks. I kind of thought like Kendrick still had love for Drake on this joint. Like on Euphoria, he was still saying like, yo, this is a friendly fade. I love seeing y'all niggas win. Yeah, I mean, y'all up at them. He's like, I see two goats. Yeah, I mean, and they hugging and kissing on stage. Yeah, I mean, he was talking about Cole and Drake. Like he was still showing love to the boys. But I think after Family Matters dropped, which was the next diss track by Drake.
Well, I mean, you do want to start like, funnily enough, this one gets kind of forgotten, but the 616 in LA's one.
Oh, that shit's garbage. That shit's garbage. I'm not even gonna talk about that. Like if we talk, and listen, and this is just from a statistical standpoint, Kendrick fans. You knew Kendrick fans. I don't know where y'all came from. Y'all didn't listen to his last album. I mean, y'all came out of seemingly nowhere. So I'm gonna just say it. If we're talking about stats, there's more of Drake's songs that I like in this diss anthology than I do Kendrick songs. And I think a lot of people share that sentiment because I've literally listened to 616 in LA twice and never went back to that joint. Never
Once
went back to that joint. That shit was, it wasn't ass, but it was just like he was spitballing with that joint. You know what I mean? He kind of had to get the ball rolling with the last one, But let's only matters was Drake to the Euphoria song, which was by Euphoria was a 6-minute banger by Kendrick. He went in for so Drake
it didn't even feel like 6 minutes. Those 6 minutes fly when you listen to Euphoria. It almost doesn't feel like a 6-minute song. I guess because the beat switches, it just makes it feel like it just breezes by every single time. It's an effortless listen.
Yeah, man. Yes, man. So Drake responded matters. All right. Family Matters. He goes through 3 different beats out of the same as Kendrick did on. And I'm just okay to me, dog. It's just okay. It's not just, stat wise, like I give it a scale on a 10 to 7. Yeah, I mean, which is like pretty good. It's kind of a little bit. And then I think the last one is too. Everybody talks about the last beat, how good of a kind of is by itself. I liked it. I like Family Man. I still listen to it a lot to this. I can set my nigga G. Really banging my
line
nigga
did not
G.
like age.
Like that.
That line did not age well.
Not age well, cuz that age well. But 7 out of 10. What about you?
I'll probably give it a 6. Honestly, this to me was it's kind of also indicative of what Drake fell victim to in this entire exchange, which was he was so scatterbrained with everything, where he didn't lock in on one particular target. There was the Kendrick piece, and then there was this middle piece where he's literally going at everybody, and then back to Kendrick. And it's like I think the most like prescient points was in that middle point where it's like he's going at everybody. I feel as though it's like,
Yeah.
was this a decent Kendrick diss? Not really, but when he dissed everybody else, oh yeah, hell yeah, he was rapping on that last part, and just shooting at ASAP here, Ross here, and this Weekend there. It was nice. I like that piece.
He fucked the Weekend in ASAP.
He went crazy. He went crazy in that little middle part right there. But ultimately, like I honestly, I probably only listened to it twice, 3 times maybe. I don't see a lot of like replay value, at least in that particular song. So like, and the funny thing about it was like, it's kind of hard to like process this particular song because it only stayed relevant for like a hot minute before the next Kendrick one dropped and stepped on it completely. I feel as though this song will probably get a lot more. I feel as though the song will probably get a lot more credit if it was not immediately stepped on.
Yeah, 20 minutes later. But all right, we'll talk about that then. So Meet the Grahams came out like 28 minutes after Drake dropped Family Matters. And I always said this. I think I've said this to you, Warren. I know I've said it to other people. I've always felt like Meet the Grahams was originally the first diss track. Like I always felt like that was originally the first joint that Kendrick recorded. And then he decided like, nah, and he went with Euphoria.
I'm going to hold this in the tuck.
Yeah.
More like, I think he's like, if he takes it this way, I'm going to release this right here.
Exactly. And I always felt that way. Like, I always felt like Meet the Grahams was something that was just, it was already recorded before everything else. And it was just like, yo, if he decides to go crazy with some shit, this is the nuclear bomb, dog. But I'm gonna keep it real with y'all, dog. This song ain't hit, dog. This Meet the Grahams ain't hit the way it was probably supposed to. Like, I do like the fact that, again, broke down Drake's entire character. I just felt like the delivery was a lot better on Euphoria. And a lot of people are gonna sit there and be like, what do you mean? He was talking to his kids, he was talking to his mom, he was talking to this, but it's just like, yeah, but like Euphoria was like literally like the like it was like Captain America calling the Avengers. That's what Euphoria felt like. It was just like, yo, we getting ready to stomp your ass. You know what I mean? Just be ready for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, that's what it felt like. And Meet the Grahams just felt like, I don't know, like, it just didn't hit. For me, it didn't hit the way it's supposed to hit, man. I like the breakdown, like how, again, he's like talking to his whole family about him. I just felt like the delivery was better on Euphoria. I think everything about Meet the Grahams that people like, I think was done better on Euphoria. And for me, this song gets like a 6 out of 10, 7 out of 10. I don't think it's like that good. You know what I mean? Now go ahead.
I think for me, when it comes to this particular track, I don't think every diss track, at least from Kendrick's perspective, has to match the same energy that Euphoria sort of came about. He came about this in various different angles. And this was just kind of one of like the many different things that he has in his bag that he can tap into. This was a display of artistry in a different way that we're kind of used to when we're seeing diss tracks being delivered, where it's just like, you know, you're seeing raw emotion and it being mad. But this was kind of like stepping into a dark realm. I know when I listened to this, it's like you felt like unsettled listening to it.
Yeah, real shit.
From the selection, like The Alchemist did his thing on the beat, of course, and everything. But like, I think Kendrick, you know, in like his delivery and everything like that. Remember the part, or I think it was around the last verse where he was so like, you lied about this, you lied about, and you see the echoes in the background of everything. It's like, it's creepy. And I was very much appreciative of that sort of like delivery that, you know, breaks down like, you know, what, like, of course, presents allegations of sorts and whatnot, whether they're substantiated or not or anything like that. But it brought something at least somewhat new to the table that kind of made people sort of question and like, have these sorts of like, I mean, listen, I don't think you have Not Like Us go off without the preamble of things that was kind of brought forth through Meet the Grams.
Yeah.
And honestly, like I always remember hearing all this talk about like, okay, so what if like Kendrick lied and like all these sorts of allegations or lies or anything like that?
Oh
I
yeah,
think
yeah.
I
The
think
cope.
I think all is fair in love and war here, okay? Even if he like was fed bad information or was deliberately lying, nigga, we still to this day don't know whether or not Tupac was lying about fucking Faith Evans, okay? But niggas ran with that.
Yeah.
It's and on top of it, they ran with it just because they have a picture of them together. They have no confirmation whatsoever that anything happened down between the two. The strategy in the lie is to make you question that person's character and credibility, and then
Yeah.
that because like Drake has been having these low key allegations or well, necessarily allegations, but like suspicions around his behavior for quite some time.
Yeah, for a long time.
I certainly never put stock into it or anything like that, but many people sort of did. And the moment you kind of present it in a manner like this, as if it's fact, people are going to believe it. And the
Yeah.
fact that it stuck and it created such like like just a fanfare and like questioning around who this guy is. And on top of that, like
Mm-hmm.
listen, even the whole like, oh yeah, you have another daughter, like you have another hidden child and whatnot. Again, even if that's a lie, the fact that you hit the first one makes people believe that you are capable of possibly doing something like that again. So it's like
Exactly.
we're using, in a sense, your own behavior against you in this regard. And
Yeah,
I,
yeah, I agree with that. And the craziest thing about this beef is it's just like I've been telling people this since the beginning. It's like it almost feels like Kendrick is out draking Drake every
oh yeah,
chance that he gets.
oh yeah,
You know what I mean?
the strategy, the methodology, everything that he's doing is just far more calculated and better executed than he has ever done.
Yeah, facts. Yeah, yeah, I agree 100%. 100.
For me, it's an 8 out of 10.
Okay. So then came out after that.
Not Like Us.
Was it not like us? It was
Yes,
not.
because it was Not Like Us, and then what's it? Then the Hard Part 6. Drake never gave us
Okay.
anything else.
Okay. So not like us, because I don't feel like we need to talk about it. I think we all know how a lot of people song and shit. The shit's a bop, dog. The shit's a bop. And again, this is another thing
Nail
that
in the
shows you
coffin.
that Kendrick is out draking Drake because again, this is like Kendrick's version of back to back, literally. Like this is a little bop that you can play in a club, you can dance to. Because you really can't do too much with like Euphoria and all the other songs he did. Like they're not gonna get no playtime in the club, but Not Like Us. Yeah, that's just gonna hit. Now everybody thinks that's like the best song in the joint. I disagree, but it is a nice little bop. I do give it like a 9 out of 10, or 8.5, 9 out of 10. I do think it's pretty solid of a song. And do I think that Kendrick is milking it? Yes, but Drake did the same thing with Back to Back. So it's like I ain't mad at it, man. You got a hit song. You got a motherfucking song that everybody's fucking playing with right now. You know what I mean? That's probably, the best thing for you to do, man. So, yeah.
For me, it's
Sounds
a
good to
10 out
me.
of 10. It's a 10 out of 10 on impact alone. Like
Okay.
it was able to ignite an entire coast that has been desperate for its recognition in quite some time. And who better to give it to them than its prodigal son? That everybody was like, this is the guy that's going to carry the torch for this coast going forward. And he delivered. He absolutely delivered. And to do it against, like, again, the biggest figure in the game right now. I mean, this was the nail in the coffin and it symbolized so much that, like, listen, he dissed a man and also gave you game. that third verse right there is highly slept on, but it gave you game in regards to what it like. If anything, it shows you what this was all about at the end of the day.
How to spot a corny ass nigga.
This like it isn't about just like, okay, I don't like this guy for him being pop or anything like that. It's a matter of like, what does this guy bring to the culture? Okay, and the contrast you have in these two people right here, where it's just like you got somebody in Drake who's just like willing to, like we've talked about it several times before, adapt to style and sound and all that kind of stuff to everybody that's around him, but it isn't necessarily authentic to him. And then you got Kendrick, who has his principles and his beliefs and how he kind of goes about things, even in his own fame. Like, I don't like the idea that people can say, like, Kendrick is just only mad at Drake for his success or anything like that. Nah, listen, Kendrick has his own, if you listen to any of the things that Kendrick puts out in his albums, he does not care about any of those things. I never understood, like, the reason why you can say the whole thing about Drake and his allegations toward Kendrick doesn't necessarily stick, because we don't see anything from Kendrick. He can easily be just as out here outside on these streets and visible like Drake is, but he chooses not to. You can't say he's not a man of the community, because anybody that's of that community will tell you, yeah, this guy does a lot for us. It's not as if like he got famous and then just left. No, he's out here for these people. Meanwhile, you got somebody like Drake who, as out there and as visible as he is and wants to occupy a space in this culture, really doesn't necessarily do or say much about things that are affecting us. It's the whole you're black when it's convenient for you sort of thing. And I think all of that becomes like quite visible through this track right here. It was masterfully done. Like, sure, it has the elements and like the quotables or anything like that, but like when you break it down to its like fine details, it is masterfully done, masterfully crafted. And to put all that in a club banger is amazing. All right, and I just enjoy seeing the scenes that break out in the midst of this being played.
Yeah. Yeah, I like the song a lot, man, but I don't think it's like people say it's like the best song of the. I think commercially it's the best song of the all the diss tracks, but
it's for sure song of the summer. It's song of the summer, hands down.
Yeah, it's definitely song of the summer. Yeah, man. But
it's funny because it's funny because considering how successful like that was, you wasn't expecting that like something like this was going to like come out and like overshadow all of it. But like, no, it's to the point where like, yes, I'll admit it's being overplayed and it's gotten annoying at this point, but like I still can't deny it for its greatness. Yeah,
it's because he definitely got overplayed, but I still fuck with that joint. And I think the song's funny, low key, man. Like some of the bars on that joint are just funny to say. Like,
was it me and Kailos were like talking the other day. That whole line was like, and Baka got a weird case. Why is he around? Like, that's a wild ass thing.
I love saying that shit. Like, did you hear about the Dr. Disrespect shit, the streamer?
I've heard about it in passing, of course, but like I don't, surround myself in that sort of space. But you can tell me about it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna get into it too much because I kind of already said I wasn't going to talk about it like a lot on like any of the podcasts because it is what it is. But yeah, they found out he came out and said he was having some strange communications with somebody who was probably a minor. You know what I mean? He said it himself. So yeah, he was doing some weird shit. So it's like everybody's just been using that song for his situation. It's just like they're always like Dr. Disrespect got a weird case. Why is he around? Like this shit's just funny, dog. Like it's just like the quotables on that song are just funny, dog. And I love it.
He's got a weird case. Why is he around? Doug, what's it? In the NBA, Josh Giddey got traded to the Chicago Bulls. We was like, yeah, they had to get him out of there, man. He got a weird case. Why is he around?
Yeah.
Because he had a whole situation where like, he was supposed to have had a relationship with like a 16-year-old or something like that, allegedly. And we're like,
Oh,
yo.
yeah, that guy. Okay,
Yeah.
It wasn't looking good for him, man.
Dog, that is the line right there.
Yeah, man. Certified lover boy, certified pedophile. That's my line, dog. That line go hard as shit, dog, for no reason, man.
What does OVO stand for? Other vaginal option?
Yeah, that was Yo, that joint just funny, cuz like that's a funny ass song, man.
Dog, it took me a while. It took me a while for me to get when he was like, he a fan. What it means, freaky ass nigga. It's an acronym for free. Like, yo, this nigga is a genius, dog. You cannot deny him. All right, he did this.
Yeah, he definitely did, man. Got to give him his props, man. This shit's a certified banger.
Certified.
But yeah, man, that's how we feel about the disc. We got the Heart Part 6, which we're gonna talk about real quick because you know what I mean.
It was a concession.
Go for it.
It seems like that was almost like an admit to defeat in a way at that point because
pretty much.
Like I'm laying down my sword. I'm not going to like keep responding to all this and like blah blah. It just was just like all in and on rambling. It felt cringe. I just was not. Is it even a diss? I don't know.
The crazy thing is like there's a couple bars on that joint where he's spitting, but then it just got instantly cringe when he was talking about I never looked twice at no teenager. And then the ending was just, oh my God, when it was basically like him crying, basically. You know what I mean? He was like, you got the shit burnt the fuck out, though. I'm like, God damn, Drake, like you going out sad right now, nigga. Like, I give it a 5 out of 10, dog, because I did like some of the bars on that joint, man. But he went out sad on that joint.
He self-owned himself on a lot of that stuff. He didn't have to bring Millie Bobby Brown's name into all this because nobody did, but he did. Out of nowhere into the situation. Like, what is going on here? The whole misinterpretation of like what exactly what's it? Mother I Sober from the Mr. Morale and everything like that. Again, prophesized from the beginning, fabricating stories on the family front because you heard Mr. Morale, and it's like, yeah, because you obviously didn't get it. You obviously did not get the message here.
Yeah.
It was just bad. It was just bad. Okay, I give that shit like a 2. It was bad.
Yeah, I give it like a 5, man. I don't think it was like super bad. I just think when he got the crying at the end, I was like, all right, Drake. All right, man.
You were over here begging this man to drop, and you're like, all right, cool, man. You like drop it every 10 minutes and everything like that. It's like, all right, we get it. But it's like, nigga, you wanted this. You said you wanted this.
I know you're gonna drop 6 minutes after I dropped this shit. Like this nigga had PTSD and shit, dog. Like,
nigga was seeing ghosts.
Yeah, Drake wasn't sleeping right. He sounded like Cole for a minute. Bro was not sleeping right. But that's how we feel. Go ahead.
Shout out to Schoolboy Q for talking to Cole and telling him to like, get out the way with this. Because that's your man. He don't want no smoke with you. He wants it with that guy over there. You best stay out the way.
Yeah, and I actually respect that too. That Kendrick didn't throw no weird shots at Cole after he bowed out. Like I actually really fucked with that. Like I was expecting him to throw like at least like one, like little straight bullet at Cole. Yeah, like Cole real quick. Nothing like too harmful, but something to let him know, like, you shouldn't have played with me to begin with. But it seems like again, like they're actually really friends, and he actually really respects Cole and shit like that. So I mean, I fuck with that because I tell people, I have this little meme that I tell people maturing is realizing that Cole had the best diss song out of the entire beef, man. But he decided to step back. Yeah, he did, man. 7-minute drill was a banger, cuz. 7-minute drill was it, dog. It was it, man.
It
was
like,
it.
I liked it, but I'm not saying it's going to be the best. Absolutely not.
Nah, dog. Let's say my man didn't bow out and Cole was giving him Kendrick was giving them lyrical hands to Cole, dog. Like I think that joint would have still been going on right now. To this day, right now, we still be getting
7-minute drill
tracks.
was hardly like critically received very well. Actually, they're just kind of like it didn't seem like there was a lot of energy. It almost feels though it lacked conviction on his end. You can sense that he didn't want to do it through that.
It's like I said, you could tell with that whole diss that there was a battery in Cole's back, and he was just literally put on go, man. It was something, again, like he said, like it's just right with his soul. That's his boy. You know what I mean? And he got love for his boy, man. Like I said, like, you know what I mean?
And it seems as
with the niggas. You know what I mean? Everybody's always beef with their niggas, man. Like,
but it seems like when it came to this situation, it's deeper than rap. And like it's kind of like, Cole, get out the way, because right now what we're doing here is for something deeper than what you think it is. Like, this isn't just like, oh, we're trying to vie for the #1 spot. No, I got a personal vendetta.
Yeah, that
talk
shit was
about
for the
that guy
that
right
shit
there.
was for the culture. Yeah, that shit was really for the culture. And a lot of people are still stuck on the, like, even the Drake stands, like they're still stuck on the, oh man, he, this is the most Kendrick's got his entire career. Like, it's like, y'all don't get it, man. Like, this is the culture coming back. Like, even with the pop out joint he did on Juneteenth, like that shit had nothing to do with that man Drake no more. Like, that shit was bigger than Drake, dog. That was about unifying the coast and getting niggas back together and shit. Like, seeing all those flags come together. You know what I mean? Put the guns down and show love and shit. And I'm sure the Not Like Us video is gonna, signify the same sentiments. You know what I mean? Like, y'all gotta stop thinking it's just all about that man. It's literally about the culture, dog. And at this time, Drake is, it's coming from me, a culture vulture, man. You know what I mean? Drake should have stayed in the lane that Wayne told him to stay in. When 2009, 2010, 2011, Drake, you know what I mean? You're not a gangster, you know what I mean? Don't do the gangster shit. Just keep making songs for the kids and the bitches, man. But you decide to be hard and play hard and shit and do all this weird shit, man. You know what I mean? It's like, a lot of people think it's like a thing about him being mixed. It's not about him being mixed. It's about him not even being a fucking an American person, dog. Like, you're literally taken from American, Black American culture, dog, that you've never really experienced because you're from fucking Canada, cuz, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I think I'm a little bit back and forth with it, because it's like, in a sense, I get what you're saying, by it not being about him, but in a sense, it is, and also isn't as well. Yeah. It's about him, and because in the sense of what exactly Drake represents necessarily, and even with the whole, like, him being, like, biracial and everything like that, it still also somewhat had an element of symbolism in it, in that even if you look at Drake's behavior and mannerisms, what does it mean for him to embrace his Black side? And it seems as though it only comes at the behest of his own gain. And it's like, you want to be a part of this culture, but you don't want to do anything to contribute to this culture and for this culture, because it's, again, culture vulturing. You're utilizing this particular space and acting in a way that's probably inauthentic to who you are, just for your own personal gain. Like, you're absorbing all the things that this culture provides and just does, because that's just how we are. Is this who you genuinely and really are? And that's kind of what many people say about many white people who come into this space to kind of like absorb the culture, build a name for themselves, and then abandon it once it becomes convenient for them.
Man, listen, that's exactly how I feel. And I've been on this train for a little minute now. But fuck Post Malone, dog. That's how I feel about him right now, dog.
Yeah.
It's like you're making a fool on it. The vibe is obvious. You're going for a full country album now, but this is after you done did what you did with hip hop. You done did all that shit with hip hop, and now
Yeah,
you want to tap back into that bag that you feel more accepted in and shit. I get it,
If
man.
anything,
I ain't mad at you, nigga, but
if anything,
that's
that
just
was what he wanted to do all along. It's just that
yeah,
like this was like,
real
yeah,
shit. That's the double-edged sword about it. Like you
mm,
could tell, like that's always been in his DNA. Even when he was doing the hip hop
mm,
shit, like he always had like some country banger on his
mm.
fucking or pseudo pop song on his album. But it's like it seems like now he's just kind of ventured far away. Even on his last album, it just felt like he kind of ventured away from hip hop, and he's just now full on he's just full on with this
it's
country shit.
the people use hip hop as an entry point. It's
Yeah.
the biggest genre in the like honestly the world, and it's not even to be like cocky about it. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. It's the biggest, most influential genre of music that is currently in existence as we speak. And many people will kind of utilize it. I think this is definitely a deeper topic to kind of sort of talk about in a way, but like, yeah, I get what you're saying when it comes to the whole Post Malone situation, and this can be applied across the board from many other artists as well.
Yeah. But yeah, man, that's how we feel about the beef, man. That's what we gonna leave it at. Yeah, I mean, let's get into these albums, man, because we got a lot of albums to run through real quick, man. We got a lot of albums, and I don't want to take up too much time on this. So let's start at the end of 2023, right? Because the last podcast we did, I believe was like literally when we reviewed albums. I should have put this in the notes so I would know the exact date and time and stuff like that. Let me see. Let me go to episodes real quick. I remember the episode, but I believe it was in November of last year. So we haven't reviewed any albums since then, dog. So it's been a little minute, man.
Neither have we done any retrospectives in quite some time as well. That's been lingering for a minute.
Yeah, we're coming back. We're coming back to that. Coming back to that. That'll be back soon. I think the last music joint we did was when we reviewed albums was it was November. So yeah, November. So it's been a minute. So we're gonna take you back to 2023 real quick. We're gonna talk about Nicki Minaj's Pink Print 2, which is the long-awaited sequel to her very first debut album, Pink Friday. I'm gonna take the floor on this joint real quick. Like, yeah, I mean, Nicki's way out of her prime, cuz all right, it's been that way for a long time. Nicki kind of just, I think circa, let's go to, I would say like 2015. I think the Pink Print was the last time like Nicki really had the sauce, because I think collectively, and I'm not a barb or anything like that, I just really fuck with Nicki's music on a level where I do give her a prop still as like being the best female rapper of all time. I won't take that away from her. I do believe that 100%. There was a point in Nicki's career where every bitch wanted to be like her, and her influences on like to women is the same way like Wayne influenced this genre of rap music. Yeah, this generation of rap music. So I'll never take that away from Nicki. However, we do gotta call her ace of spade. Kind of like with Wayne. Wayne has kind of stepped out of the way. Like Wayne is still very active, but he's kind of stepped out the way to do what he does in the sense of he lets Drake have the limelight. He lets Kendrick have the limelight. He lets Cole and all these other people take what's going on right now, because he knows that his time is long past. I mean, he's still very active. He's still giving you bars. He's still going crazy, but he's not the same as he was. And that's kind of the sentiment of how I feel about listening to this particular album. It's like this album would be fire if it was still 2015, 2016, 2017, because we can all collectively say that Queen just wasn't it in 2018. It had a couple bangers, And in hindsight, Queen might have been a little better than this album. Like, I ain't gonna lie. It might be a tad bit better than Pink Friday. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, Pink Friday too. It might have been a little better. But yeah, this joint was, man, it's just all right. Without like breaking down the tracks stuff like that, because only like a handful of songs that I really feel like stand out, like Pink Day, Club Up, the shit with Gold, the shit with Wayne is one of my obviously the Joan Break is a banger, but apparently that was a honestly never mind cut that Nicki just took for her album. I mean, hey man, I fuck with it. I think the best song on the album is the joint with Future. That shit was heat. I mean, my boy Future was singing his ass off. I think it's called Nikki Hendrix or whatever. Like, I give that album, and this is all love, like a 6 out of 10. I mean, it's just good. A 6 on a scale of 1 to 10 is good. It's good. I mean, it's just above. It's above average. So let's say it like that. It's above average. Yeah, it's not necessarily bad. It's not necessarily good. It just makes it. I mean, but go ahead, Warren. How do you feel?
I didn't necessarily listen to this particular album. Nicki Minaj's music has never really been like my sort of thing. But I will say that with her, I don't even think it's just a matter that she shouldn't be chasing anymore at this point in her career. She not only solidified as like, the greatest female MC of just all time and whatnot, but I don't feel as though she needs to feel like to compete with this particular generation. What does she have left to prove? And she almost kind of has like an Eminem syndrome about her, where she is going at this with the same kind of hunger to kind of want to like, be the number one or anything like that. Like she's still chasing these accolades for sort of things, but it's just like, dog, you done did it.
Yeah.
What's more left for you to do? Let these other people have their time to shine. Like, no need to kind of like look at them as they're not your competition. That's just straight facts. These newer artists are not your competition. They are not. They're not anyone that you should feel the least bit threatened by. Anybody that tries to utter the words Cardi B and Nicki Minaj in the same sentence is fooling themselves. That's ridiculous and should not be entertained.
Yeah.
I do to some degree feel for her in a way though, because it's like, here comes this particular artist, drops a debut album and it gets a Grammy. Meanwhile, Nicki Minaj has never been nominated.
Yeah.
Like that seems criminal in and of itself. Like, just not even as a feature artist or anything like that. Just never been nominated for a Grammy, and that's just kind of like, that's highly unfortunate for somebody of her caliber, that she deserves more recognition, and then maybe that's what drives her to constantly want to push for something like that, some industry-wide Academy recognition that seemed to have just been, honestly, because like I still have my reservations when it comes to Invasion of Privacy and whatnot. I really and truly believe Astroworld should have won that Grammy, and they just kind of sort of gave it to Cardi for I don't know what particular reason. Granted, yeah, it resonated with a particular demographic, but Astroworld was something different. It was something different. Nevertheless, when it comes to Nicki, I feel like, listen, the barbs are always going to be the barbs for her. She's always going to have a cachet about herself and how she conducts herself amongst her fans and everything like that. Personally, I think she needs to clean some of that stuff up. But nevertheless, when it comes to her music, her time was her time.
Yeah.
Granted, like she still has some hits from this one that still kind of float around in the TikTok generation, nevertheless. But like, her time was her time, and I think we just need to. I just think it's incumbent upon the broader hip hop landscape to give her flowers and give her the recognition that she deserves.
Okay. So how you feel about that joint?
I never listened to it, nigga. I don't listen to Nicki Minaj like that.
Okay. All right. All right, let's get into 2024 now. I mean, let's get back to our current year. Let's talk about, I guess, one of the best albums to start the year out, and that would be 21 Savage, American Dream. Take the floor on that, man.
It was honestly, anytime I listen to 21 Savage, I'm more floored at how like he develops himself as an artist. Like people, like the thought I had about him when he first came onto the scene as a double XL freshman and everything like that, and the I used to think he sounded so sleepy and just was like so disinterested, and like I didn't take him seriously. That wasn't until like this album came out, and I was thoroughly impressed that like, okay, he does want to explore different avenues of things and not just the same old. Like I'll just say this in contrast to somebody like Lil Durk, he doesn't venture into the same things over and over and over again. Like I can never say that on at least on a 21 Savage album that this song sounds like that song. This song sounds or these collection of songs blend together in such a way that you almost can't tell them apart. I can, however, say that for Lil Durk. I remember like listening to like I think I saw a thing where it was like a boxer was listening to unreleased Durk music, and I was like, but it sounds like another song that I've heard from him already. What do you mean unreleased? This sounds nothing different.
Yeah, Dirk is, and yeah, I don't think it's even to his detriment. I just think his fans really fuck with that shit. But like,
no disrespect to him. I like Durk and everything. Like, I have my like issues here and there when it comes to like the like sub of his artistic stylings and whatnot, and yeah, the blend here and there. Like we ain't gonna talk about that Lil Baby Durk album where it was just a bunch of songs that all sounded the same. But like when it comes to an artist like 21 Savage, he deceives you into thinking that he might be one of those type of artists, but he's not. He's a legit artist, and the themes and everything that he was able to explore in this particular album. Let me see if I can see the songs that I've saved from this particular album. Scroll all the way down here. I saved a bunch of other stuff over here, so let me just look up 21. Saved about, okay, NHIE, Sneaky, Pop Your Shit, Dangerous, Nina, what's it? I probably should have also saved Red Rum as well. Like, it is an impressive showing. I'm more and more impressed with every showing of 21 Savage. Like, to me, like, what's it? This album, I Am Greater Than I Was, maybe wasn't better than this album, but it got recognition. I think this is his best work. And from, like, it set the tone right for 2024 that it was an early favorite for me to be for considerations in, like, Grammy considerations later down the road. I hope people still remember it around that time because we often tend to gravitate to things that are still fresh to us. But this was a good album from him.
Yeah,
I would give it a 7.5, maybe 8 out of 10.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right. I give it a 7 out of 10 as well, man. I think the album was pretty decent. It's very good. I mean, I think for the beginning half of this year it kind of carried me, like, no lie. Like, I was listening to it a lot, when the year first started. Very decent album, man. I kind of like the same songs as you. I really like the intro. The intro was dope. Nina's good. The joint with Thug is amazing. That's one of my favorite songs. I like the joint with Summer Walker, the song he's got with Brent Faiyaz. And that's another thing about Savage that I really like is that he kind of explores, other.
He's not afraid to get sensitive. And that's something that speaks volumes in a very like honestly, I shouldn't be surprised because in a sense, for all we say negatively in regards to Drake and like, his pop related stuff, his contribution to hip hop largely, influence from Kanye West, but I think Drake took it to another level was to like, men being able to be emotional in their raps.
Yeah.
Like we take care. What's it? Nothing was the same. Like, yeah, people like he was clowned for this, but at the same time, it was ultimately a good thing to have somebody like that to be able to express these sorts of things in this particular genre.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, dog. I really like this. I really like this album, though, man.
It's a good album.
And I definitely agree. Like, as far as like it goes with the being emotional, like he does it very well, man. As a street nigga, I mean, he does it very well, man. Does it very well. I'll give him a 7 out of 10, man. All right, moving forward. What we got next? Let's go to one that I think we both enjoyed or maybe didn't enjoy. I don't know. I would like to see Benny the Butcher. Everybody Can't Go, man. How'd you feel about it, man? Let me know.
Forgettable. Like I had like high expectations, because it's Griselda. It's like it's at a point right now where it's a brand that you can trust and whatnot. But like I'm starting to sort of see that, like, I think it's become clear like who exactly are my favorites and who I look out for whenever they drop and so on. And I'm not saying Benny is somebody that I don't or anything like that. It's just that this one in particular, with all the anticipation and hype that was surrounded around it, people were saying that it's one of the best albums they've heard and whatnot before it was released and whatnot. And just it was just like, to me. It's nothing really stood out, and I don't think there was anything really that like I saved from it. Like I truly, I was one of those first day listens. I truly can't remember a single song from that album, honestly.
Yeah. So what do you rate it?
5.
Ooh, shit.
Just middle of the road.
Look, man, I don't want us to sound like some residential Benny haters, man. Is this really our guy? But I actually agree, man. I actually highly agree.
I'm still tight about that concert, by the way.
Listen, man, me too. But I will say, man, I felt the same way. I felt like as a debut studio, like as being behind a major record label, like this wasn't it, cause this was not it, dog. He did better shit on the streets, man. Like it just, I feel like there's like 2 or 3 songs you can really take from this joint, and like I've added to my playlist and I really fuck with. Like I think it's like Griselda Express. I like the joint with Jadakiss a lot. I really like the intro, but outside of those 3 songs, like I like Big Dog a little bit. It just feels like it's weird because it's Benny's vein, but it feels like a departure from it at the same time. Like it doesn't feel like
it did sound like he was experimenting a little bit with different sounds on that album.
And
like he wants to diversify.
Yeah, no, that's cool, but I feel as though execution-wise, it wasn't it, man. It wasn't it. And I agree. I was gonna give it a 6, but I do agree. Like a 6 means it's above average. I'm gonna still give it a 6. I'm gonna give it a 6. I was gonna go with just average, but I'm gonna give it, because I do think at the end of the day, it was a really good album, dog. It just maybe wasn't. I think Benny's the best when he's teamed up with Hit Boy. He's never been, to me. He's never topped that, dog. For me, at least, he's never topped that. That album, Burden of Proof, was just his best work. Undeniably, 10 out of 10. Like, it's just, they have a chemistry that works very well, that makes his like Benny's style is like that 90s rap infused with that like new shit. But it's like
the shit the real hip hop heads love, yeah.
Yeah, but it's like with Burden of Proof, it felt like that 90s shit, but it also felt like that modern shit at the same time. And I really like that about that album, dog. Like, it's something like a young nigga can appreciate and an old head could appreciate together. Because a motherfucker's gonna listen to a song like I think it's called Broken Bottles, and they'll be like, "Oh, this shit's a banger," and then they'll listen to a song like 38 Wheeler and be like, "Yo, what the fuck is this?" You know what I mean? Like, even like, but I felt like that was like a good mixture of both of those sounds in one album. You know what I mean? And he did really good with that album, dog. Like Burden Proof is so good. But I give it a 6 out of 10 for this one. All right, let's talk about my birthday album, man. On my birthday, I was blessed, man. February 10th, I was blessed. We're getting a Kanye West album, nigga. Like, ain't nobody else get a Kanye West album on their birthday, nigga, but me. You know what I mean? And got it as promised. Yeah, you know what I mean, kind of. It's supposed to come out like 2 days before then, or something like that. But we got Vultures, man. Vultures is here. Vultures 1 at least, because Vultures 2 is supposed to come out like 2 months after that, and 3 was supposed to come out 2 months after that. Yeah, and it's now June, and we ain't seen 2 or 3, nigga. I don't know what happened to either one of them albums. And I'm kind of upset about it because
you knew this was gonna happen, though. It's Kanye West.
I know, man, but 2 was starting to, like, from what I heard of 2, like, like certain songs that they left off of 1 to put on 2. 2 was sounding like the better album, because like 2 was sounding like the way better album. And I guess that's I started up with this. It's not saying this album's bad. You know what I mean? Vultures 1 is very palatable. I love a lot of the songs on this album. Carnival is song of the year right now. To me, song of the year. That is song of the year right now, dog. Like what Fiend did for me in 2023, Carnival is doing for me this year, dog. That is probably gonna be my most listened to song of this year. It's gonna be Carnival, dog. That shit is a banger. Playboy Cardi came on that joint talking his shit. We ain't heard about Rich the Kid since 2020. What was that? 2020 fucking, or I would say like 2017, 2018, when he came out with New Freezer. Listen, man, I'm trying to tell you, man, shit's a banger. Shit's a banger, man. Shit's a banger, dog. Shit's a banger, dog.
What's your rating?
I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10 because there's some highs on this album. Like I said, like Carnival, the beautiful big titty bitches that don't fall out the sky, There's like a couple songs on that joint that really stand out and are like really good.
Hated that part though. That one particular line was wild.
But there's some songs on the project that I didn't feel like, man. There's some joints on there like I just I really like. Let me look at the track list real quick and I'll double down on it. Like Keys to My Life, it was cool. That joint was cool. Paid was decent. I like Paid. The joint with Northwest was pretty cool. Back to Me was a bop. Hood Rat was nice. Hood Rat was nice, but why was Mike Tyson on that joint? Like, Do It is a banger. Do It is fucking hard, dog. Burn is okay. Fuck Something is fire. That was a gas song.
That was my song.
Vultures was heat.
That's my favorite
Carnivals
song.
was good. Oh, Vultures was your favorite song?
Yeah.
Yeah, damn. Well, how you feel like Carnival?
No, I liked it actually. Here's the thing. For some reason, I didn't save it, but like I knew when I listened to it, I was like, "Oh yeah, this is the one. This is the one."
I knew Carnival was gonna be the one. As soon as I heard Playboy Cardi's verse, I said, "Yeah, this is gonna be the one, man."
That's probably the reason why I didn't save it, because like I honestly I just can't get with Cardi, but like I know
ride dick like a carnival. I was like, "Oh shit, oh shit."
I cannot stand that dude, man. I can't.
Man, that's the GOAT right there, man. That's the GOAT.
How?
That's the GOAT, man. That's the GOAT, man. Beg Forgiveness. I didn't really like that joint. The one that they took out, I didn't like that song because I think it had some legal issues with it. Problematic. I don't like that joint. And King is Fire. I guess I'll bump it. What did I give it? I gave it a 7, right? Yeah, I'll keep it at a 7. 7's good. 7's good. That's what I feel. Because a lot of these songs I don't revisit. If there's going to be songs I'm going to revisit on this, it's going to be Stars. Because I really like that intro. That's a really good intro. Back to Me, Vultures, Carnival, and King. That's it. Everything else, like, I'll listen to it in passing, but like, I'm not, damn, let me go listen to Problematic real quick. Like, I'm not doing that. But how you feel about that album, man?
Honestly, I haven't thoroughly enjoyed listening to a Kanye West album in such a long time. Like, this was actually really good.
No shit.
It got me, like, it's not exactly it, but it gave me dark fantasy vibes. Like, he tapped into that particular space and ran and just owned it. I loved how he was able to just put this all together. And Ty Dolla $ign is like on Superpowers whenever he's featured on a thing. So it's like, and it's to the point where he's even aware of it at this point. So honestly, I have very little to complain about it. Like, I didn't save much, and this isn't in my like consideration for like album of the year or anything like that. But I'm just like, okay, I can appreciate this, that it's a coherent sound that he's working with here, and it's enjoyable to listen to, and it's not, minus a few lines here and there, like beautiful but naked women just don't fall out the sky. Beautiful but naked, big titted women just don't fall out the sky. You know, just like okay, I can't.
Bro, spit.
Shut up. I mean, like, finding out that this nigga had a porn addiction is just kind of like, all right, man. Like, I can see it now, and I can't. Like, this, my man need help. my man need to chill his horny for the work. Like, it's wild.
Yeah,
but nevertheless, it's
fun. It's my boy, man. You don't fuck with beautiful butt naked big titty women don't fall out the sky. You know what I mean? That's a banger, dog. That's a banger.
It's just so like, what the fuck is this? Like, and on top of that, it was on repeat over and over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't need to hear this over and over again. Like, I don't understand his artistic vision sometimes.
Yeah,
and I guess that's where like the dark fantasy stuff comes in, because it's just like my man is just like, I love me some titties, but he loves him some titties. Like, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks.
Like, it's beyond like normal at this point. And like, I think my man just needs help. like nigga, like, get your shit self situated. All right, nigga, find Jesus or something to occupy your time instead of having to think about fucking women all the time. Jesus, man was out fucking Italy getting head from his wife in the middle of
man.
like broad daylight, dog.
Bro was all about that Jesus shit, and then just went full fucking porn star. Because I don't know if you saw the shit where he said he's gonna make the Yeezy porn or whatever the fuck it is. He's making his own OnlyFans app or whatever it was.
Nigga was showing porn to like Adidas coworkers from his phone, and I'm like, dog, chill out. Like, the hell?
Bro,
what is going on?
That nigga was wilding. That nigga was wilding.
Wilding,
That nigga was wilding, man. That nigga was wilding.
Yo.
All right, what you rate it?
7 out of 10. Maybe 6.5, but like, I liked it.
Okay. All right. Real quick, because I know you didn't next two. We're gonna get them out. Next door P4. Man.
Nope.
Okay. All right. So, real quick, just going over these two albums. Album was kind of a letdown. I'm not gonna lie. I had higher expectations for this project. I really give it like a 5 out of 10. But this Bryson Tiller, I give it like a nice little 11 out of 10. You know what I mean? Going over them two albums real quick, and how I feel about them. Party Next Door joint, it needed to bring me back 2015, 2016, and it didn't. It just made me feel like, I don't know, man, the nigga just horny. He trying to fuck something. And then with Bryson Tiller's joint, Like,
Mm.
I'll say it again for all because I don't think I said it on the podcast before. Bryson Tiller should have been where Drake is now. Like he should have been where Drake is now. Like, like statistically. You know what I mean? Like Bryson Tiller really is that nigga, dog. He can rap, he can sing, he can really construct a song very well. I didn't listen to his interview he had with I think it was the Breakfast Club when he was talking about like his depression and shit like that. I need to listen to that. But this album was really good. This album was really fucking good. And I liked it. 7 out of 10. Beyonce's Cowboy Carter. I don't think you listened to it. Did you listen to it?
Nope.
I didn't listen to it either. So we can skip that. Yeah.
You didn't listen to Cowboy Carter?
I listened to it in passing. Like my girl listened to it, and like my friends listened to it, and I heard like songs in passing. But like, did I listen? Do I sit down and listen to it? No.
I'm not gonna sit. I don't care who is this from. Okay, no shade or nothing, but I'm not gonna sit down and listen to a country album. It's just not for me.
We're gonna get to that later because there's a country album on this list that I actually listened to that I think is like one of the best songs of this year. Yeah,
that's your white boy coming out, but all right, cool.
Nah, man, just listen, just hear me out on this one. When we get there, all right?
All right.
But from what I heard from the Cowboy Carter joint, it wasn't bad. Like I heard my boy Shabuzi on there. Yeah, I mean, he was doing his thing. Shout out Shabuzi. Shout out Shabuzi, man. That's my nigga. Shout out Shabuzi.
That is a wild ass name.
Hey man, we're gonna get to his album later, man. That's my guy right there. All right. Concrete Boys, It's Us Volume 1. Did you listen to it?
I don't know who those people are. You threw that shit in there like I'm supposed to be excited about.
That's Lil Yachty group.
Honestly, no, I'm good. I'm good. No.
Let's talk about Glorilla, man, because Glorilla
is
on fire right now, dog. She's on fire right now, man. She's on fire right now.
Let's just celebrate this woman right here, okay, for the time being. Like, I love seeing this woman win. All right, and it's weird because it's like, okay, and we're probably going to talk about this, the Contrast album in later parts. I didn't listen to it, but nevertheless, let's contrast Glorilla and her artistry to somebody like, say, Sexy Red. It's weird because it's like, and I'm literally was just thinking about this like right now as you were kind of speaking about the other albums in preparation for this, in that like Glorilla's music is like ratchet hood girl shit, but it doesn't sound like a caricature of all the negative things that are happening in the Black community. It sounds very authentic. It sounds like raw. It sounds like, hearing songs like Yeah, Glow and what's it, the joint that she had with Meg Thee Stallion, and even the other songs on this album, it's just like, yo, she experimented with different things, but the way she sort of talks about them in the way it's just so authentic to like experiences that people can feel in a way.
Yeah.
Like even if it's just it's ratchet shit, it's not like it doesn't feel exploitatively ratchet.
Yeah.
If that even makes sense.
Yeah. It makes perfect sense. Yeah. Absolutely.
So like I'm very, very supportive of Glow from the moment she sort of blew up, because it's like, okay, I know like initially for me at least, her comp as far as like artists that were on the come up was Ice Spice and whatnot. And Ice Spice was just pretty much thrown anything the industry can get a hand on and to elevate her name. You're getting a Taylor Swift feature. You're getting appearances here and there. You're going to the Met Gala. We're just doing all this for you. Do you have the artistry to kind of sort of warrant any of this and back up this? No, but you're a light skin and you're fine. Glow, admittedly, like, yeah, she got work done.
She definitely did.
Teeth fixed, boob job, and everything like that. She got work done, okay, and she looked good. I'll give her that much too.
Yeah, she looked good. She looked good.
But at the same time, like the music I was worried, where it's like, okay, are you just going to be another one-hit wonder who just like gave us a viral moment to kind of like, okay, to be excited over, but like everything else that you give us falls short. And like whenever she gives us a thing that actually works, I'm just like, yes, you are legit. I love it. And this project I liked it. I like listening to like, if this is in preparation for what's to come, and like, what's it? I think I listened to her recent single that just came out. She's gonna have the summer on fire. Okay, with this shit. Okay,
Yeah,
Glow is
that
here.
TGIF joint, that joint, yeah, that shit. I can hear that shit this Thursday right now, man.
Glow
July
is
4th,
here
that
to
joint
stay.
out. Yeah, that's yeah.
Glow is here. Glow is here to stay, and I'm rooting for her.
Yeah, I'm
all the way
rooting
through.
for all these rap women. Like I didn't put Megan's new album on here because it just came out Friday, and I'm still kind of dissecting that. Yeah, I'm still kind of dissecting that myself, but it's like I've been saying this for a while. I'm gonna put it on the pod so y'all can feel where I'm coming from. But the women in the rap game killing it, dog. They going harder than the niggas at this point.
They're running it right now.
Yeah, they going harder than the niggas at this point. Like, and it's crazy because a lot of niggas won't admit that shit. I'ma say it to y'all. The women got this rap shit on lock right now, dog. Like, it's a good time to be a woman that enjoys rap or a man that doesn't care about a woman rapping. Because a lot of these motherfuckers, they gonna listen to this shit, undercover and shit like that. They gonna bob their head to it, but they not gonna admit that they like this shit. Nigga, I like this shit, dog. This shit gas, dog. Flo Milli, gas. All these rap bitches, they killing it right now, bro. And it's
and
like
low key, honestly,
you just gotta respect it.
Even if it is semi exploitative and kind of like you can kind of side eye the content. I kind of started
niggas
to fall.
Do the same shit.
I sort of kind of started to fall for Sexy Red in a way. I was like, okay, I can get it. I kind of fuck with it. I kind of fuck with it.
My man.
So I was listening to like, what's it? Why didn't you include the Chief Keef project on the list?
I forgot to. That it was right. I was gonna put it right next to the Sexy Red album.
We can do that then, because like honestly, that collab is a match made in hell, and I love it. It's just, I just love it.
I love it. Listen, I'm trying to say, man, like Sexy Red, is she good for the culture? Absolutely not. All right.
No, absolutely not.
Is she good for the music?
Yeah.
Is she good for the outside? Yeah. We're gonna talk about that. Is she good for the outside? Hell yeah, nigga. Hell yeah. That's gonna be the title. That's gonna be the title of this podcast, man. Women running rap right now. Because they running rap right now. Y'all niggas is lazy. Y'all all sound fiended out, perked up. You know what I mean? We not feeling it, bro. We not feeling it, nigga. You know what I mean? That's why I've been telling a lot of people this year. I've been listening to a lot of R&B, and especially like not older R&B, but like, like the women R&B, the Georgia Smiths, the Snow Allegras, what's that chick I was listening to like not too long ago? I was peeping her album.
I actually peeped an R&B album that came out this year. I don't know what month it was, but I literally listened to it on Friday from an artist called Tannerell.
Okay. The name sounds kind of familiar.
The album is called Electric Honey, and my God, it is amazing. It is fucking fire.
I'm trying to tell you, these niggas are just lazy, man. They all rapping the same. They all talking about the same shit. And you can say the same thing for the women, but at least they getting shit moving. Like they really, like I've seen the glow effect, dog. That one song, the Glorilla and Megan song.
Yep.
That shit got the asses shaking in the club, dog. You know what I mean?
Listen, and all the power to them that they're getting this shit off and it's working. All right.
Yeah. Shout out to Megan, dog. I'm gonna just put that on the podcast too. Shout out to that motherfucker, dog. Real shit. Shout out to that motherfucker, man. Megan is I seen a tweet about this the other day. She's literally the definition of persevered, man. Like really got through the shit and is doing the damn thing, dog. You know what I mean? And didn't have another nigga writing the songs or nothing like that, because you could tell like she's still rapping her ass off, and Party's gone. We can't say the same about Nicki, can we? We can't say the same thing about Nicki though.
Meg can rap though. From the jump, I knew Meg was like, she was special for real.
Yeah. Facts. But going to this Glorilla album, everything he said, I 100% agree with it. I don't know, what did you rate it?
Everything. I'll probably give it a 7. I mean, but at the same time,
too.
I'll probably drop 7, maybe 6, because like it's not as if it was long. It's like it's not an album. It's more of like here's an EP of things that I've been working on. Listen, there was a lot of things that caught on from that shit. So for sure,
that's all like 14 tracks though. It's pretty long.
Is it 14 tracks?
It's 30. It's 12 tracks. But yeah, it was long. It was long enough. It's long enough to be a nice little album. The 35-minute runtime though. It's kind of short. But
12 songs. Yeah, I'm probably going by like the runtime more than the tracks and whatnot.
Yeah, bitch killed it on this joint, though. I give it a 7 out of 10. Did you listen to Mozzie's album, Children of the Slums?
No, man, Mozzie don't get a lot of press, and I'm so upset that I never knew that this album came out because I would have been listening to it.
Shout out Mozzie, man. However, I give it a 6 out of 10. It's really not that good. It's
okay, save me the time. See, this is the value of being able to like take in people who rate these albums and whatnot. So like if you get a stamp of approval from us, then that gives you the idea of what to expect when you listen to this album.
Yeah, the album was cool, but like he's got better projects, man. He just felt tired on this joint, man. Like and I was kind of mad he wasn't at the Kendrick joint, but I get it. He's not from Compton. I mean, he's from Sacramento. So
he's from Sacramento?
Yeah, he's from Sacramento. Yeah.
Oh shit.
Yeah, so shout out Mozzie, though. The album was cool though. Like I saved nothing off of it though. I think I saved one song off it. Hold on, let me check. I think I saved one song. If that Free the Lifers joint is on there, I think I saved that. That was the only joint I saved.
Ooh, I also got an album I want to mention in here amidst everything. Did you listen to Black and White's big Hit Boy and the Alchemist?
Nah, hell no. I'm not listening to that shit. Big Hit get on my nerves, dog. Big Hit get on my nerves, low key.
Why?
Yeah, man. I just have this thing about grown ass men talking that gangbang shit. Like it really burns me out, bro. It's like I don't want to hear anybody over the age of 40 talking about gangbang. I don't want it, dog. I don't want it. I don't. If you ain't the game, Dr. Dre, Ice Cube, one of them niggas, I don't want to hear it, bro. I don't hear no gangbanging coming out of you, dog. At the big ass age of, let me look how old this Big Hit nigga is, dog. Because he did an album with the Game, and that shit just had me. Or was it the Game or YG? I think it was YG.
It was a Game. He also had a project with Game, yeah.
Yeah, I was like, no, man, absolutely not. Absolutely not. I get it. He been locked up like damn near his whole life, but bro, you are old, man. You're old. You are old, man. And we need to hear you talking about something else other than a fucking flag and a block you don't own.
Big Hit apparently is 52.
He's 52, but I don't want to hear that, dog. I don't want to hear that shit. That nigga's too fucking old to be rapping like that, dog. Talking about some fucking flags and shit, gangbanging and shit. Get that shit out of here, dog. I said that's the problem with y'all niggas, man. Y'all want to hear this bullshit, man. I don't want to hear that shit. I mean, I know a nigga's gonna be in the comments talking about some, but you like Sexy Red though, man. I don't particularly like Sexy Red. I like what she does. You know what I mean? I like how she gets the bitches moving, man. You know what I mean? You gotta have respect for that, man. But no, absolutely not. And Sexy Red's like what, 24? She's at that age where she needs to be making music for the clubs and shit like that, so she can shake her ass. This man's 52 years old, man. If you don't take care of some grandkids, man, like, get the fuck out of here, dog.
If you don't take care of some grandkids.
Ain't nobody trying to hear this shit, man.
You said, I'll give you this. It's consistent in how you feel about Pusha T, because it's like you grow and you're still talking about the bricks you used to sell.
Yeah, bro. I don't want to hear that shit, man. I don't want to hear that shit. I told Warren a couple months ago, I don't even want to really hear that shit from Benny no more. And Benny, my guy. But I'm starting to get tired of it, nigga. You like 40-something still talking about the bricks y'all had, man. Like, come on, bro. Come on, man. It's time to grow up, dog. Time to grow up, man. I mean, spit some game about these properties y'all be grabbing and shit. I need to know, man. Let us know.
Listen,
man.
I think I draw the line at real estate raps.
And make a song about folding clothes, nigga. You know what I mean?
You get, and then shit, that'll do it for you, because apparently that did for you when J. Cole did it. I
Did
can't.
it for me, dog. Did it for me.
Small aside before I go back to this particular album. You know what I was thinking the other day? That Earl Sweatshirt. You know how I would classify him as like hobo raps?
Yeah.
And you got Rick Ross, which I would probably even consider like luxury raps.
Yeah.
Like if you were to put them two on the same track, you'd probably be able to hear the disparity in class. Like straight up. Like one nigga is rich and one nigga is poorer than poor. Like it's ridiculous. I would probably enjoy hearing something like that just to see. Like I heard Earl Sweatshirt and I just feel as though like my pockets got lint in it. But then I listen to Rick Ross and I feel as though I have a Maybach sitting outside my house, or at least I want one.
Yeah, man, that's what music do, man. You ain't got to experience it, but you can feel that shit.
You can feel that shit. But as far as the big hit album is concerned, I actually liked it, but because mostly, honestly, Alchemist
production.
Beats.
Yeah, probably production. I knew the production was going to be top.
But also, like, listen, Big Hit. Okay, you know what was fucked up? Because when I first heard Big Hit, without seeing him, his voice, he kind of has the voice of a young nigga.
Yeah.
So you would think that he has, like he was, if you just like listen to him without actually seeing who he is. Then when I found out, oh yeah, he's actually Hit Boy Dad, and I'm like, oh whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah, being incarcerated for like 20 plus years will do that to you. Preserves your body, man.
He's also a fairly short nigga too.
Yeah.
He looked like if Nipsey Hussle and Snoop Dogg had a child and was short because both the niggas were tall.
Yeah, man.
Nevertheless, it is a good project. He's rapping his ass off on there. The features were also good as well. It's a good project. So like I think you should give it a listen, even if you like think of him as a young nigga, even though he's not.
What you give it?
7. It was a thoroughly enjoyable listen. I enjoyed it. Again, Alchemist, anything you put the Alchemist on, I'll say this, all right? Alchemist is like, can't do no wrong today. He's like, I'm glad that he's extended himself in the game to the point where it's now it's 2020s, and he's like, I would consider premier producer in the game right now. If him and Larry June did a sequel to The Great Escape, I would be like on the edge of my seat. Anything that the Alchemist puts his name on right now, it's like I want parts of. This man's like I probably would say the same thing about like Harry Fraud to a degree. It's like it's almost like Harry Fraud is like an offspring of Alchemist type like productions, just a little bit different. But nevertheless, anything that the Alchemist puts his sound to is just worthy of listening. It's great. It's great stuff.
Yeah, man. What you rate it?
7 out of 10.
Goddamn. All right. Let's get to one of the most anticipated, I would say, of this year so far. Gunna, 1 of 1. I'm gonna take the floor with this one real quick. All right,
Go.
real quick.
Mm.
It's all right. It's just okay, dog.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to come to that realization that this was kind of a step down, if not a big step down from The Gift and the Curse. Because that album was amazing, dog. That album is, I said, I put it on my top 5 for last year, dog. Best albums of last year. That album was really good. However, this album ain't. I'm gonna give it, and it pains me to do this, a 5 out of 10. It's just average. There's a couple songs on it that I fuck with and I really do like, but there's no like Fuck You Mean on there, or Rodeo Drive, or All Right, or To the Moon. There's nothing like that on this project that sticks with me, and it's got that replay. Like I like Hakuna Matata, the joint with Offset I really like. I actually like that he had features on this joint. The joint with Normani was pretty good too, but this joint, it just felt like the last album he came out the gate like just with something to prove. You know what I mean? And then with this album, it just feels like, yeah, I did that. So here's more of that. You know what I mean? I was just like, And it was crazy because it almost felt like Gunna was gearing up for a legendary run, because even his little singles and shit that he was coming out with was heat. And the little features he was doing with, like, he did with Offset, he did with other people, were really good. So it looked like he was gearing up for a legendary run. But this just kind of felt like a backseat album, dog. Like, I mean, it pains me to say, but it's like a 5, dog. It's literally like a 5, dog. I mean, I really wanted to like this album. I've listened to it so many times, so you can't use that argument. I've tried to like this album. I can't do it, bro. I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
I like Collage. I like One of One. WhatsApp is one of my favorite songs on the album. On One Tonight, I really didn't like. Yeah, and I think another thing is the album's like really long too. And that's what kind of gave it the score too. It's kind of long, and there's a lot of filler. Like there's a lot of skip.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'll let this one play. All right, we'll play this one. Skip. All right, this one's cool. We're gonna listen to this one. Skip. Oh, this one's cool. It's too much skipping. If I can skip more than I can listen, it's not that good. And I think it's about even. Like there's just enough skips as there is songs that I'll listen to it. So 5 out of 10 for me. What do you think, man?
I'm gonna piggyback on what you said, and like I remember I was talking about this yesterday actually when I was with Kylas and Luke, in that like The Gift and the Curse, we've talked about it. My man was rapping like rent was due. Like my man's career was on the line with that particular project. He had, like, there was no hit or miss. This had to hit, or Gunna as we knew him would be over. And he delivered with that project.
Yeah.
And to follow up, I think he's in a space right now where it's like, because he was able to deliver, no features and have a great. I honestly thought it was a Grammy snub. It should have definitely been in the considerations for sure. It was a fantastic listen. So he's kind of like, okay, I'm in this realm and operating on my own now, doing this and all that kind of stuff after the whole YSL debacle and whatnot. To follow up with this from a space of like, all right, there is no urgency. Like, there is no pressure that's on him to kind of like deliver. I feel as though the label has their trust in him now, considering after all, like, what The Gift and the Curse was able to do and the fanfare that was able to kind of like generate after that. I mean, I remember like seeing video of him performing "Fuck You Mean" at some sort of concert hall with like an upper balcony, and that shit was bouncing. It made me fear that shit was going to collapse. Yeah, nevertheless, this particular project felt like it didn't sound the same sonically, but vocally, everything just kind of blended together.
Yeah, everything sounded the same.
Yeah, and I was just kind of like, nothing really stood out. Nothing really like spoke to me or like made me feel things the same way. It's always going to be compared to like, the previous album, because it almost seems like this is a new era in Gunna's career, and you open up this new era with something like that, and then your next installment is this, and it's just kind of like, meh, really.
Yeah.
I'm not, again, this isn't going to like, fault. I don't think this is going to turn away anybody from Gunna or make it, it's not as if like his career is over. He'll probably come back, and I think I think as time progresses, especially with the whole YSL situation, and we're not hearing much from Thug or anything about the situation. Was it Offset or somebody that collaborated with him recently?
Yes.
I feel as though at a certain point, some artists will kind of like slowly inch their way back into the circle of Gunna and not think too much about whatever in the world that we don't know about the case, and the music may benefit because of it. Did he really need? I don't know if there was like any strong desire from him to release this, or it was more like the label saying we want something at a particular time. So I don't know.
Yeah, but I don't know. But I don't know. It might have been that. I mean,
Yeah.
Thug been in court for a long ass time. They need that bread, man. So,
Yeah, they need somebody that's gonna carry this, and if it's gonna be Gunna coming off of like, what he did prior to, then I get it.
yeah,
This
I get
probably
it.
this probably could have all been throwaways for all I know. But anywho, it's like I said, it's not as if it was bad. It's not like I didn't enjoy it, but I was kind of like, nothing really like made me feel any type of way or like, you know, forced me to kind of like consider different things in who Gunna is or his music. It's kind of like more of the same. So yeah, I agree with your sentiments. Probably like a 5.
Okay. Okay. We got 3 more albums for y'all, and then we're gonna wrap this up, man. Because I mean, I gotta stream. I gotta do. We got 3 more albums. I'm gonna bang out the easy one now because the other 2 we're gonna have a little bit of a conversation about. So let's talk about my boy Shabuzi real quick. Let's talk about it, man. Let's talk about Shabuzi. Where I'm going isn't where I am isn't where I'm going. What the fuck is the title of the goddamn album, man? Because I don't
Nigga,
think
it's
that's.
your album that you
Oh,
fuck with.
it's where I've been isn't where I'm going. Is what it's called. I had to look at the list real quick. This is a country album from a black man. All right, that looks relatively young. He's probably about my age, maybe younger. I'm about to look that up. He's pretty young, dog. I mean, and he brings like that hood aesthetic to the country music, and I really like it, dog. And he's got a song. He's 29 years old, so yeah, we about the same age, dog. We're around the same age. So he's got the song that I've played on stream 1,000 times. If you watch my stream, you've heard it. It's called a bar song. I mean, I play it on stream all the time. Everybody in the bar getting tipsy. Shit's a banger. Shit's probably my second most listened to song of this year. I stay listening to that song. That song is hard, dog. I probably look crazy in the car listening to that joint, but I don't care, dog. That song is hard because that song make me want to crip walk, dog. And I don't know why, man. I'm going to send it to you, Warren. I'm going to need you to peep just that song. You ain't got to peep the whole album. That joint going to make you move a little bit. It's going to do something to you. But overall, the whole album, yeah, I really fuck with this joint. I like, right? He's got a song called Horses and Hellcats. Shit's gas, man. Last of My Kind. Shit's gas. Annabelle. Shit's gas. Easter Manson Nothing. I don't know what the hell that is. That shit's gas. All right. My Fault with Noah Cyrus. That shit's gas. Vegas. That shit's gas. Drink Don't Need No Mix with Biggie, with my boy Big X the Plug. Yeah, he got a rapper on that joint.
Shout out to Big X Plug.
Yeah, Drink Don't Need No Mix. Banger, dog. All right. Still Heard From Me, that's a banger, dog. But a bar song, that shit does something to my heart, dog. I hear that song, I gotta start. We gotta toast it up with the boys, man. We got to. This album for me, 8.5 out of 10. Really good album, dog. Really good listen, dog. I'm not even a country nigga. I'm not even one of these niggas that listen to country albums. That shit's gas, dog. That shit, I bought a whole fucking cowboy hat, dog. I got a 10-gallon cowboy hat because of that album, dog. I was like, yeah, it's a country boy summer, dog. We outside, nigga. We outside with it. I mean, albums heat, dog. And if that don't make you listen to it, Warren, at least listen to the one song, dog. I think you'll fuck with it. I'm trying to tell you, this shit's gas, bro. This shit's gas. It's not what you think country music, bro. It's not like Luke Bryant country music. It's not Kane Brown country music. This is like some shit like a hood nigga could appreciate, dog. You know what I mean? I fuck with it, dog. I fuck with it heavy. Let's talk about Chief Keef, though, nigga. I know you couldn't wait for this. This is our last 2 albums right here.
Yeah.
Chief Keef and Sexy Red Joint. Go with Chief Keef. Go ahead, man. You got the floor.
Let me find. Hold on. Let me see if I can find. There we go. Almighty So Too. Dog, the album we've been waiting on for like, what, 2 years? Nigga? The fuck?
Yeah, man.
The amount of times this shit was like, all right, coming soon. That shit was like in fucking like that new release, like what's it, coming soon portion of the Apple Music thing for a grip, and then to finally get it,
Yeah.
and for it to like honestly, okay, did we talk about Dirty Nachos beforehand?
Nah, but we'll say that for the next one because
Well, listen, we can skip it because honestly, Dirty Nachos to me, it's like okay, I get it, but
stop
like
it. That shit was gas. That shit was
yeah,
gas.
it was
That shit was
mid
gas.
for me. It was mid
That shit
for
was
me.
gas. That shit was gas. All right,
It
so what
was
do you rate it? What do you rate it? What do you rate it?
Dirty Nachos.
Yeah,
5.
I'm giving it a 7.
Moving on.
it
It was a prequel to this, and this right here, dog.
Sosa's back, nigga. Sosa's back.
Sosa's back, man. You just gotta appreciate the guy, all right? And the fact that, and on top of it, he's doing this all independently now. He's not under any sort of label. So, like, anybody saying that, like, he only sold like 10,000 copies, pure sales that are going straight to him, that's a win. You don't have to split that with no label. Oh yeah. Listen, man, you gotta appreciate. It's kind of like he knows that he's like a legacy act already, and the man is still in like his mid-20s, and it's producing it like okay. I'll say this: his production, because he's not just like rapping on stuff; he's producing these tracks as well. It's almost like this is all him doing it. Like he's doing all bits of these sorts of things, and to come up with this sort of quality, it's like dog. And everything's great about this, okay? If you're coming in here for trying to like, straight lyrical miracle type of stuff, this is not the place for you, all right? If you're listening to Chief Keef, you know exactly what you're getting. The man delivers every single time, okay? The songs that I saved from this, the Jesus skit Into Jesus, nuts. Michael Blackson ran that shit. That shit was nuts.
Yeah.
2 Trim, Runner, fucking Great Trees with Sexy Red.
That's my shit.
Dog, Great Trees with Sexy Red, dog. I'd listen to that shit like damn near every other day. That is 1, 2, 3. Dog, this
1, 2, 3 is gas.
This album is fire. And I was like,
dog.
Band It
Up is, you missed Band It Up.
Band It Up with Tierra Whack. There was so many shits on this album. I was listening. I was like, oh shit, this is hard. This hard. Just like adding shit to my goddamn library. The fact that Chief Keef can still like, man, I remember when Don't Like came out in 2012, and we're like 12 years removed from that stuff, and this man is still a relevant part of the culture. Almost like it's weird because he's so young, but he feels like a grandfather in a way. Like he's so young, and he's at legacy act status.
I mean, he's really not that young. He'll be 29 next month. He'll be 29 next month.
Still fucking young, my nigga. Still fucking young.
Yeah. He it's almost like we were watching, in a sense, not the same way, but we're watching like Lil Wayne's come up. But beside
I get what you mean by that. I get what you mean by that.
Yeah.
But the thing about it was like with Wayne, he had Slim and Baby, an entire collective of people around him to kind of like protect him and mold him into the art. This guy is like on his own from the jump. Who like people co-sign Keith, but he's never had like guidance. Like the man's just been out here.
Bro just running what he liked, man, and I love that. I love that for him, dog. Like bro really just makes the music that he likes and he wants to listen to.
It's fucking amazing, okay? And honestly, there has to be some sort of documentary or some sort of appreciation for what this guy's contributed, and the fact that he's able to give us this sort of quality at this juncture, so far removed from his prime time. Listen, for an album that had such a long delay, you had to come right with it, and he absolutely came right with it. So I am thankful. Honestly, if I'm evaluating this art for what it is and what it was able to give me, it's a 9 out of 10 for me.
That's good shit. Good shit.
It's not going to be Grammy recognized or anything. I understand that, but as far as my sensibilities, it won't. Nobody's gonna fucking look at Chief Keef and be like, "Yeah, Grammy nominated artist Chief Keef." No, but I am appreciative of it, and it is a good quality project if you're into this kind of music.
Yeah. I see you from that sentiment. Then I kind of see it from that sentiment. Yeah. I feel the same way without, going too deep into. I feel literally the same way as Warren. I give it like an 8 out of 10. You know what I mean? I don't think it's like, I've listened to it a few times, but I haven't felt myself actively going back to it yet. I mean, like, I got Banded Up in my playlist. I listen to that a lot because I really like that song. 123's in my playlist. Neff or whatever it's called, the first song, the joint with G Herbo. That shit is that shit blew me away when I first heard it. I was like, wait, what? This joint hard, cuz. This joint hard, man. This a hard album, dog. So yeah, I'm gonna give it an 8.5 because the shit is hard, cuz. Yeah, I mean, the shit is hard. The joint with Sexy Red, I think it's called Grape Trees.
Great Trees, dog.
That shit's gas, dog. Like, there's so much heat on this joint, man.
That match, when I saw those two paired together, I was like, okay, this is going to be the ghettoest, most ratchet coupling I've ever seen in my life, and it lived up to expectations. It was fantastic.
And we kind of got to see that same sentiment on the next and last album we're going to talk about today. And that's going to be Sexy Red's In Sexy We Trust album. I mean, now, did you listen to this?
No, but I did want to. I did listen to that one track that the one song that she had with Drake and whatnot, and it's like, I guess. Drake part was nice, but her,
Drake part was fucking banging on that joint.
Yeah,
said, baby, that joint, like, damn, okay. Yeah, I fucked with this little joint, man. It was all right. You know what I mean? I don't think it's anything higher than like a 6 out of 10 though. Like, real shit. Like, I like Overbad. I like the one song she had that was going viral for a minute. The what's that joint with the I can't think. Oh, I gotta look at the playlist, the track list real quick. Oh, Get It Sexy. Yeah, I like that joint. Get It Sexy. That's a good joint.
I hear it everywhere. It's fire. It's fire.
Yeah, that shit's everywhere, dog. Lick Me with Lil Baby is nice. That's a nice little joint. Boss Me Up is good. Yeah, I mean, it's decent. For Sexy Red, that joint decent. I'm going to give it like a 5, dog. I'm going to give it like a 5. It's average. It's good, outside music, dog. You know what I mean? And that's probably going to be the title of this podcast, because really it's just, there's a lot of outside music on this album. There's a lot of it.
I think when it comes to Sexy Red, that's by design.
Yeah, of course.
They know exactly what they're trying to do when it comes to it. And this is exactly how we're going to make our money with an artist like Sexy Red.
Yeah, and it's a good time for it. Like, I've been hearing Drake got a song with Camila Cabello. He got 2 songs on her album that just, again, give outside vibes. And this is what I like about the summer. I like the summer because it kind of forces artists, especially like pop and hip hop, to kind of, push that song of the summer thing out there. At wintertime, people aren't outside. People aren't really listening to music in a great mass area like that too much. The summertime, everybody's outside. Everybody wants that song that's getting them moving, getting them in the club, getting them at the beach, getting them here, getting them to Atlantic City, shit like that. Yeah. So, it's that time of the year, man. So I love it, man. And I think Megan just dropped the first offering off of the summer. I really think I'm gonna be outside July 4th, so I'm gonna be able to tell y'all if this shit's on or it's not. I mean, I'm gonna be able to tell y'all from the rip because I'm gonna be outside and I'm gonna be hearing what people are gonna be playing, and I know they're gonna have this Meg joint going crazy. The Gorilla joint's going crazy, dog. Like, like I said, women running it this year, dog. Women is running it this year. Whether you want to see it or not, like, look, these niggas are not giving their best effort, dog. All right. Lil Durk just dropped the song on Friday that I was really excited for. That sounds like all the other songs he just dropped. Like he literally just dropped. And I'm already getting tired of the nigga. You know what I mean? And I really liked his last album. I put almost healed on my top 5 list. You know what I mean? That's a really good album to me, dog. But it just seems like these niggas is lazy, man. Like they just going in the studio and doing the same thing. And that only works for one nigga, and that's Future. You know what I mean? Future's the only nigga that can give us the same song over and over, and I'm gonna fuck with it.
I think I remember seeing something like this that talked about like how artists are sort of approaching this, where it's like we're just going to into the studio. There is no artistic direction that they're trying to go in. They just go in. Here's a beat, lay down some rhymes on it, and then they just produce it from there. It's like it's very quick turnover, and I think a lot of that is inspired from like people like Wayne, but it's just kind of like. Not everybody's Wayne. Not everybody, or even somebody like Gucci. Nobody. Like, there's a lot of these artists that take a lot of inspo from like the previous artists that kind of had this sort of like ethic to them, and was able to like give us quantity, but in that quantity there was lots of quality in it. And y'all not that. Y'all are just not that. Y'all aren't Future. Y'all aren't Wayne. Y'all aren't Gucci. Y'all can't do this.
I agree, man. I agree, man. But yeah, man. I'm excited for this summer, man. I'm excited to see, because going back to the Drake thing, everybody thinks, Drake's career is finished. It's far from finished, dog. I think my man's about to have a legendary run this summer. Something in my chest is telling me that. Like, I feel like Drake is really about to just do his thing this summer and just have fun and make the music that he needed to make for the past 4 or 5 years. Because I had a conversation with somebody not too long ago where I've kind of said that, like, I think Drake's run was over in 2020 when he came out with that song with Dirk. Like, I feel like that was the last time I felt like Drake was like at the top. Like, we talking about God's plan, and all that. I feel like that was the last time Drake was really that nigga. I mean, like, of course, like, people like Rich Flex, and they like, other songs that have came out since then. The joint with Cole, on his last album, and, the shit with Scissors or whatever you guys like. But I think the last time bro had a hit that was really banging and people were like, you couldn't escape it no matter where you went, was probably that Laugh Now, Cry Later joint. And I feel like whatever Drake did in that time, I don't know what it was, but he just needs to go back to that. I mean, I think he needs to.
He needs to kind of go. I'm to some degree missed that introspective Drake.
Yeah.
Where he actually, that again, the very thing that people sort of like valued in his contributions to hip hop for, it seems like he's deviated quite a bit from that, and is in this pop lane, and is just going to stick to it because it's, this generates the numbers and everything. I think, listen, it's up to him at this point. He can stay this lane and just be fine with it. And like, honestly, I don't think he'll suffer from it. I think as blowback from what's happened, he's definitely lost a lot of points in the culture. I'm sure hip hop won't receive him the same way that they did before after this whole situation, and he might just accept that and realize that, okay, I'm going to stop trying to gain acceptance in this lane and just move on and just do the thing that's garnered me success and just stick with it. Now, my question will be is like, how many? I remember them saying like he'll probably only be able to get features from people that are like, the newer artists, the Sexy Reds and all kinds of the people that are going to be struggling and wanting to get looks. But, the established people within the culture are just kind of like, yeah, let's kind of like excise him because he's kind of a cancer.
Yeah, but I think we said this on the last podcast. Drake has always been that, though, to a lot of people, his peers. Like, I've said this multiple times. I feel like Drake has always wanted acceptance from hip hop. He's always been looking for it. He's always been looking for that acceptance from his peers, you know, the old heads, the shit like that. And they won't give it to him. And I've been saying it for the longest. Stop trying to please them niggas because they don't do at this point, the old heads, like we're the old heads at this point. I really want a lot of people to know that. If you're my age, you're 31 years old, 30, 31, 29 years old, you don't have a factor in today's music anymore. You really don't. Yeah, I mean, just like when we were 2011, 2012, 2013, we made that sound. We shifted that direction. We were the ones that made B.O.B. make airplanes and shit like that. You know what I mean? We were the ones that made Drake come out with Take Care. You know what I mean? We had that whole EDM phase. We had the ASAP Rocky shit back in the day, dog. We made that. It's not our time anymore. It's time for us to let these younger kids have their fun, experiment with music, do what they do. You know what I mean? It may not sound good to us, but these kids fuck with it, dog. And that's all that matters. You think anybody that was listening to hip hop in the 90s was listening to Party Like a Rock Star? It was listening to Kevin Rudolph and Lil Wayne, Let It Rock. That was for us, dog. That was our generation of music. You know what I mean?
But I think for like certain artists, like there are certain artists that can have appreciation for like, okay, this is my time, and then like once I feel as though the sound has surpassed me, I can just kind of be at peace, stay true to my art, and kind of like hold within this lane, still release music, understanding that it won't get the same level of attention and accolade that it did before, but remain true within this sort of thing. There are also artists that want to chase greatness. And I think Drake is, not only put himself in that caliber, has probably also explicitly said that he wants to be considered among that caliber. And in order to kind of sort of chase greatness, part of that is longevity. Yeah. We have artists like Jay-Z who, funnily enough, can maintain the sound that he wants, while at the same time, well, not necessarily maintain the sound he wants, because he has grown and developed and everything. And on top of that, he can release an album tomorrow and like people will gravitate towards it. Like the fact that he's able to kind of like still be a relevant figure from the 90s to the 2000s to the 2010s, and like if you were to drop an album in the 2020s, the same with people like Nas as well. Like you are still an ever-present figure in this particular space, and you do it through being able to be somewhat adaptable. But the way Drake kind of went about adaptability kind of also meant abandoning elements of the culture in a sense.
Yeah,
there's a part of me that kind of feels for Drake in a certain way, because like there was some like him wanting to gain that acceptance earlier on in the hip hop spaces and not getting it. Some of it was unfair because a lot of people just didn't like him because he sang, and it's like.
Yeah.
Like I remember there was like a period in like especially in the 2000s hip hop where it's just like you're a hip hop artist, but like you experimented in the pop lane where you sang things, like people gave shit to Ja Rule for that, but it's just like, so what? Why limit yourself in that sort of way? And it can still sound really hard when you're doing this stuff as well.
Yeah, facts, man.
So he was kind of like a victim of like that old school mentality, but at the same time there were also still members in the culture that were like, it doesn't matter. He can still go. Like people recognize him as God tier MC. Like he can rap and whatnot. But then like the ghostwriting stuff kind of like puts a lot of that into question and everything like that. But that's neither here or there.
Yeah.
When it comes, I think Drake did himself a disservice in that. Like if you wanted to say that you are part of the culture, well, you need to do more, at least beyond just the musical aspect of it. What are you doing for community? What are you doing for like if you truly love, if you truly love this genre, you understand what it stands for, what it's supposed to bring voice and light to. And like again, if you're an artist that kind of like plays a caricature of a street person having not lived it, it almost seems like you're sort of adding into the, like you're taking advantage of a reality that many other people feel. And it seems like a lot of people piggybacked or like bandwagoned with him doing that, knowing that he wasn't of that, because he's a juggernaut as far as success is concerned, and people will just kind of like gravitate to you because you got money. But like, sure enough, it seems pretty evident right now with the moment the tables turned on him, people are realizing like, yeah, this guy was a cornball from the beginning.
He always
So
been though. He's always
yeah,
been. He's just good
listen,
at making music.
I remember when Started from the Bottom came out, and he had gotten so much hate from people. It's like, what do you mean Started from the Bottom, nigga? We saw you on Degrassi. It's like, you have always been affluent. Like, what do you mean that you started from the bottom? You have never had an ounce of experiencing being broke in your life. And yet, like, this is like the thing that you're going to run with. And it's like, with all this, it's coming back to bite him. And it's like, okay, listen, but at the same time, we all recognize that like the demographic of hip hop sales is white kids now. There's the culture, and then there's like what's driving the numbers, and it's the white kids that are driving the numbers. And Drake can do whatever the fuck he wants, and he will always get the. He's at that stage that you can find Eminem at this point, where it's like you can't do no wrong. You're gonna put out music, and you're gonna be fine. But as far as how we, the culture, look at you, different. And if that matters to him, it's gonna sting. And if it matters to him, he will alter his art to try to like do better. Yeah. But if not, then fuck it. He's still gonna be alright.
Yeah, he's still gonna be alright. But yeah, like I said, I plan on doing another music podcast relatively soon. Maybe it may be episode 91, 92, or 93, one of those. You know what I mean? So the next one we're doing, this is episode 89. We'll be doing a gaming episode. It'll be a special gaming episode if we could coordinate things good for y'all. You know what I mean? I ain't gonna say too much. Warren know what we're talking about. But we trying to coordinate something for y'all to give y'all a show we haven't given y'all yet, man. But yeah, man. This was a good episode. I hope y'all enjoyed it. I hope y'all got some insight. I hope y'all go check that Shabuzi album out. Go give my boy a listen. Go check out Chief Keef album, because that shit's gas as well, man.
For real.
I mean, but you got anything else for the listeners before we wrap this one up?
No, just be on the lookout for the next episodes and everything, and when this drops, of course.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what I mean? Let's get it, man. I appreciate all of you guys for tuning in, man. As always, make sure you guys check out the links down below. And also, if you're watching the YouTube version, give it a like, leave a comment, disagree with us. We want you to disagree with us. That's the point of these podcasts, and us giving you guys our opinion. They're all opinions at the end of the day. I mean, did you like the Gunna album? Did you not like the Gunna album? Let us know down below, man. Check me out on stream at twitch.tv/BLAZEDxEnferno. Twitch.tv/BLAZEDxEnferno. I just fired up the stream now, man, getting the countdown ready. We're going to have some fun Sunday fun day, do our thing. I appreciate all of you guys for listening, man. Like I said, just be on the lookout for the next one, y'all. And if y'all made it this far in the podcast, man, we appreciate y'all. We love y'all, man. But yeah, that's all I got for y'all, man. Peace out. Have a good one.